Okay.
So we're still not saying our name?
No, you can just say podcasters. Welcome back to...
Welcome back to... Blah, 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 blah. I'm blah, blah.
You're an idiot.
So last night we went to Bright Nats.
Brat Nats.
In Denver.
What'd you think?
Tara, tell them what you think.
I thought it was fine.
For what it was.
The things were nice, but for me, it wasn't worth the drive to Denver just to see that.
I don't disagree.
You?
I think it just could have been a little less. It wasn't worth my $25. 20.
And the hour drive. And
that didn't bother me.
well, you didn't drive.
Because you wouldn't drive it.
Yeah.
So who wants to start us off with places we've been? We can start off with the places we've been together. Hawaii.
Well, I have a place that we've been together, but when it happened, we weren't together. It's not really the place. It's a thing in the place.
Okay. What? Now I'm curious. So you got to...
Well,
Just
I've
get
told this
elaborate.
story 100 times, so you guys know it. But when I was about 22, we went to visit her aunt in Philly. I'm like, oh, well, New York is just right up, right?
We had actual maps we pulled out.
Yeah, paper maps. And it's like, well, let's just drive there. Not realizing that's hours from Philly to New York. But anyway, so we drove and we got over the bridge. And I thought the Statue of Liberty was going to be like the Empire State Building. So that when I got into the city, I could just drive toward her, which is how we got to the Empire State Building. I just drove towards it. So we were driving. I was like, where is she at? Where is she at? I don't see her. So I asked someone and they're like, well, you got to go down here and then to the harbor. And then she's out in the harbor. Okay. So we're driving along and out in the distance, I see this little tiny speck out there. I said, is that the fucking Statue of Liberty? I thought she was big. She's the beacon of our country. And she's this tiny woman out in the middle. Now, I've never been up close to the woman. I never ventured out. But from a distance,
You just thought she would be bigger.
she was way tiny. And I thought, not at all what I thought. So my expectation versus the reality was like a way big letdown for her.
What do you think?
Have you ever been to her?
I haven't been. I haven't taken... I think when you take a ferry or a boat
You
out.
gotta get like a, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been out there. I've been close enough where I can see where she's...
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how she compares to other...
Well, I compare her to the Eiffel Tower. And I just, to
She's
me,
nothing
in
like
my
it.
brain, that's what I expected. So when I saw the Eiffel Tower, that presented as I
Yes.
thought it would. And
Yes.
it's gigantic. You can see it from around the city. It's still huge around the city.
Everywhere you go in the city, you see
Everywhere
it, yeah.
you go, you can see it. But the Statue of Liberty, she's much smaller than I expected.
And people are like, well, if you get next to it, she's really big. I'm like, well, that's great if you're really next to her. But I just thought she was really big in general.
Right.
She was
And so
not
the
really-
whole city could see it.
Okay, that's fair.
'Cause it's,
I didn't have an expectation. Like, I knew she was out in the water.
Well, I knew that
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
But I still
So-
thought she was very big.
You thought she'd be bigger?
Yes.
I mean, it's a safe assumption, right? The way you see it portrayed all the time.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
this singular thing and there's nothing around it. So you imagine that it's kind of massive and it's
Yeah.
not.
It's not.
So what did you think of New York itself? So for me, New York lived up to my fullest expectations.
Yes, it was what I thought it was. Yes, whatever I saw on TV prior to me going there, when I got there, I was like, oh yeah, this is what I see on TV. This is really happening. Yeah.
What about you?
Same. It's just like the neighborhoods are a little weird. Like if
The boroughs?
they make it seem like everything's really close together and it's always not necessarily the case when you're there. So you are really reliant on, you get a taxi.
Mm-hmm.
To get you from here to here
Oh,
or
no,
there
we
to there,
take
or you
the-
take the subway,
Yeah.
whichever, but depending on the time of night.
Because most of the
whatever.
time it was cheaper and quicker to take the subway than to take a taxi because of all the traffic. It would take you longer to get there if you were in a taxi.
Yeah, no, it did. New York didn't let me down.
You know what I thought was weird in New York was Central Park. I didn't realize now, I mean, I've known for a long time, but when we went, I didn't realize it was just literally a square in the middle of the city.
It's a big rectangle.
Yeah.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. I thought Central Park was like a park and it was jagged and just on the
Jiggy-jagged.
side of the city. And I didn't realize it was like smack dab in the middle of the city and just one big rectangle. And,
Yeah.
and when you see it aerial in the air and look down, it looks really weird. Aerial.
Aerial in the air.
Yeah.
What about you? You got no
What do you mean? What
any
about me?
places that you went that
No, I don't like that. I don't like what about you. No. I don't like that.
You do that all the time. What about you?
But that didn't flow. That didn't flow. That didn't flow. So another place that we've all been was Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
And I think Hawaii lived up to my expectations. Although I thought it was going to be, because everybody, even though it was been a minute, 20-some years ago, the three of us went. Everybody said it was going to be super expensive. It wasn't as expensive as I thought it was, but it did. But everything else was basically what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I think about that. I mean, I would go back again. It's nice there. I would like to see some of the other. Oahu is very
cityized.
It's very cityized. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the big island was
more remote.
Was nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I liked Hawaii. It was nice. It's the first time I saw water that was clear.
It was fun to go snorkeling.
The snorkeling was. I liked the beaches, the black beaches. Mm-hmm. I think all of it lived up to what I'd seen, like in magazines and pictures. Of what we experienced lived up to the expectation. Yeah. So yeah, I would go back whenever.
So what about a place that did not live up to your expectations?
Well,
we all know you feel strongly.
Greece, yeah. And maybe we just didn't go to the right places, or maybe it wasn't the right time, because we did go in the winter. It was early December. I mean, I see pictures of other places in Greece. I'm like, oh, well, that looks nice. Where was that at?
Right.
I'm not going to say Greece. I'm going to say Athens. Mm-hmm. Not at all what I thought it would be. I don't know. I guess I thought it was just all like super old ruins. I don't know, but people live there, a shit ton of them, and like New York style traffic.
Exactly. I feel like Athens was very
I didn't expect
New York
that.
Cityized. Shut up. But all the places that we went, all of the mythological and archaeological.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All of those places. They
we're on a roll today.
Our guide was awesome.
Yes, the guide was good. But for me, after like the third archaeological site, I was like, okay, I got it. I mean, because it's I go back and look at the pictures now. I can't tell what is what. It's all columns.
I took notes.
Stones. And then after you hear about the gods, and like, okay.
Well, I like all that stuff, so.
I did like for a little bit, and then I was like, I didn't care anymore. I just wandered off and took pictures.
What about Santorini? Which is, for those listeners and watchers, Santorini is where you see all the blue dome top buildings. White buildings with the blue.
No, I'm going to say all. I think it was a total of like maybe not 4 to 5.
But the ones
I thought it was going to be way more.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you see in the pictures, those pictures, they're taken in Santorini.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of old buildings, old homes, old shops. But
well, we went, it was cold and windy and rainy. And so again, I don't know. But then when you see Santorini in the summer,
it's packed.
We were wandering. There was nobody. It was us, dogs, and cats. That was about it. But in the summer, it's those little skinny are just filled with people. So I don't think that I would, and it's really hot. So there's got to be like an in-between where you get
both
the good parts without all those people. Yeah.
Especially because a lot of the shops close.
Yes.
When it's cooler because they make enough money in the summer because it's so stinking packed.
Yeah.
When we get to Italy, I could talk about that too.
Oh, let's go. When are we going to get there?
Yeah.
I enjoyed Italy. Oh, pretty much. But I didn't go to any like the remote towns that like some people complain about, or like I didn't experience.
What do you mean complain about?
Because some of these towns are really small, so people have unrealistic. I mean, they're very old. Yeah. You know, these are towns that existed before vehicles, so you're doing a lot of walking. You're not. You're getting dropped off here. You're doing everything on foot, and you're coming back. Right? There's no cars in some of these places, so I didn't go to any of. I stayed in the city, so I've been in Italy, Rome, which was fantastic. I could go back anytime. It does get busy. Obviously, the Colosseum.
The Trevi Fountain.
All of that.
Like 4 a.m.
The issue when I went, it was right before, I'm going to call it Y2K, right before we switched over. And and they were doing a whole bunch of refurbishment. So like if I went to see like the what's the painting?
Oh, the Sistine Chapel?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was close, so I could only see I couldn't go into the Sistine Chapel because they were refurbishing it.
I see.
I went to see the Vatican and all of that, which was cool. But I really wanted to get in there, but I couldn't. The sculptures are fantastic. So Rome was really fun. We went to Venice. I've been to Venice. Now, I went off season, so you encounter a similar effect to that. A lot of the shops are closed. But it was cooler, so I know some people sometimes in the summer complain
really
about
hot,
the
yeah.
smell and the heat. I didn't experience any of that. And it wasn't too cold.
Like, I don't look at Italy as somewhere I want to go for the hustle and the bustle. I think I would like to go more so that when you go to the Colosseum and the whatever.
There's be less busy.
Yeah.
So much to take in. Like, really, we could just walk around and, and then there's all the towns, right? So that was just like Rome.
Yeah.
And there's Verona. Then I went to Venice. I went to Florence. And that's as far south as I went. You know what I mean? There's tons. I didn't go south. I didn't go to the Amalfi Coast. I didn't go down to Sicily. I just went down as far as Florence. And Florence was great.
How long did you go?
I don't remember. The first time it was we drove, right? So I started in Germany, in Dusseldorf, and then we drove from there. And then we went to Bavaria, and then we drove down to Italy. So I think it was like a whole week of us driving and then coming back. And then the other time, I think we went for also 6 days.
And how was Germany?
So Germany's great. There's a lot to see, but it's also more modern. You have your towns where you have your old town feel and whatever, but then you go to places like Munich and you have like this huge ancient cathedral in the middle of a city.
Yeah.
And I went obviously fairly young, so all of my humanities courses where I had just learned about, like, say, Charlemagne.
Yeah.
So all of that came together because then I just got to go see it, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then, you could take advantage of, like, in Florence, the Uffizzi's there. The David is there. And that's interesting because, like, what do you think the David looks like?
Well, what do you mean? What do you think? Like, so I've seen other sculptures.
I know, but
So to me, it just seemed, what I envisioned
I don't
was just a
know.
marble
Just
sculpture
a curly-headed man.
of a man, yeah.
Probably with his arms like this and small.
And his wiener really tiny, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the size of his wiener.
Most of the wieners were smaller.
I don't know. It's weird because he's not inside of a building.
He's outside?
He's outside. So you have to, like, walk to where he is. And then, everybody just sort of takes it in. And he's bigger than you'd think.
Oh, okay.
And
then you have
the Mona
the
Lisa.
most famous painting, the Mona Lisa, which is, again, her, the Statue of Liberty, or Buds. She's like... She's
seen it, right? 'Cause
She's
you guys
roped
went.
off. She's got glass in front of her, and there's a stamp on the wall. And you're like, oh, okay, there she is. It's like a stamp on the wall.
And
Let me
she's
get a picture.
and they don't let you get as close.
You can't get close to her.
Right.
And
They wall it. They block it off.
ropes, yeah.
And so just recently on social media, he goes, I stood in line for this. Like, this is it. And that's exactly how I felt when I saw it. I was
but it's like you can't go and not.
see it.
I would
The
just
Louvre
have been
was-
excited to see the Louvre.
I don't think I had any expectation of the Louvre. I knew
didn't
it was a
either.
museum. That's about the extent of
Yeah.
it. And then we got there, and it's like...
Ginormous.
It is.
It's just a long building, and then the big glass thing. It was huge.
I've been to Paris. I have not been to the Louvre.
You haven't?
We were there 4 hours, and I think we saw maybe not even a quarter.
There wasn't enough time. We could have gone in, he said, but really you needed, we didn't have 4 hours.
They say that it takes a couple days to see
Yes.
the entire thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we chose on purpose.
Yeah.
We chose a guided tour that took us to all of the main things that you would want to see, including the Mona Lisa.
I liked Paris.
I did too.
I didn't have any negative experiences.
But all of the places, I feel like that one, I enjoyed that one the most.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower, all of the history, because I really liked learning the history. And so I do like getting guides, and I liked hearing all the stories about the kings and, all the things, and walking the streets and doing all that. Eiffel Tower was beautiful, and I want to go back.
I do too.
Oh, and where did we see Harry Potter?
I was in London, which was...
Which, speaking of London, I felt like I was in New York.
I did not... I thought London was... Hello,
No. Hardly anybody had an English accent until we went to the countryside.
We went to Bath.
Yeah.
And there we heard the English accent. In London,
Hardly.
not a lot. Mm-mm. It was a very busy city.
I just felt like it was in New York because it was a mishmash of people.
Yep.
In every language under the sun. And although everybody spoke English, of course.
But you didn't get the English accent very much in London.
So when you say English accent, are you talking more of the Cockney one? Because there was none. There was none.
No,
so
I know that. No, it was like from other countries.
Right.
Those you would hear that accent.
You would hear French.
But you didn't hear anything of the English.
German.
So it's quite the
It was a mishmash, yeah.
melting pot, right?
And then the changing of the guards was.
That's an hour of my life I'll never get back.
It was more than an hour.
We didn't even stay for the whole thing.
My leg fell asleep standing up. How does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either. We were there for more than it was a couple hours.
What a waste of money that thing is. You need to.
There was no money.
I mean, they got to pay for those guards.
Oh, them.
I don't know.
They were saying us. I was like, we didn't pay for that.
Oh God, no! I've been mad if I'd paid for that.
But and then so you're there in front of the Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, so we got there. We were right up against the gate.
Yep. And
for all the goodness.
Then when you're up against the gate, everybody that came behind you, they just kept pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. So literally, you were packed like sardines. But the way that they do it is the horses come behind you, and they go around and they come back around. So now we're at the gate.
That whole thing.
Yeah.
But we're at the gate. I can't see the horses because there's so many people behind me squishing me, and I barely saw the horses.
We're just seeing the dudes walk.
Yeah.
And they're walking and walking. And I'm like, okay.
And turning.
Are we going to change?
Flipping their legs.
No, they're not. We're walking. 30 minutes in. Still fucking walking around. And now a band comes out. I'm like, okay, this is it. Here we go. No. And I said, I'm done. I said, I don't care anymore if the guard changes or doesn't change. So we just pushed our way through the crowd and left.
You don't know until you go, or unless you do
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of research and go, do I really need to, like, if you think it through, do I really need to see a changing of the guard?
I
Is that
thought
like
it would
the
be
scene?
like maybe 20 minutes. I mean, you're just changing people out.
It was for tourists. People would come out like we did.
Plus, I'm sure it's
it's tradition.
as well.
I would think they would do it with the tourists or without.
Yes.
Well, that's true. What about Iceland?
I think Iceland was what I thought it was.
I don't know what I thought.
I would go back to Iceland in a heartbeat.
I don't know what I thought before we went.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really. I took your
went
word.
'cause I said I want to go to Iceland.
Well, yeah, but I took your word of where to go, but I didn't have any expectations. I wasn't saying, oh, I really want to see. I knew I wanted to see some waterfalls, and they lived up to their. The waterfalls were beautiful.
And there's so many. We saw but a fraction of them. We saw a fraction of Iceland in general.
Yeah.
I would go there for a month and just go to all the places in Iceland.
Oh, we went snowmobiling.
We went snowmobiling on a glacier.
Mountain. Yeah, on the glacier. That's right.
Yeah.
And so we were on a bus with some dudes, and they were just gallivanting across the frickin' world.
Yeah.
Do you remember those guys?
Guys who peed.
In the snow. And at some point, the guy goes, can you believe it? We are on a fucking glacier right now. And it's when people say things like that, like we take for granted all that we get to see and do. But in that moment, it really hit me like, holy fuck, we're on a fucking glacier.
And we could not see shit because it was completely white out. But it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. What else? Where else you been?
Have you been to Amsterdam?
No.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Amsterdam, I feel like was
I didn't feel that Amsterdam was like that.
No.
What'd you think?
I thought the red light district was uncomfortable.
It was?
It was uncomfortable
Such
because...
a prude.
Huh?
You're such a prude.
No, not because of that. I mean, I knew what it was.
Yes.
So it was what it is what it is. I didn't expect to feel uncomfortable, but the women are standing there and you feel like you're in a zoo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Except they're people. So I wanted so badly to look in and because some of them were very like she's just sitting on a stool on her phone and some of them had like things going on. So I wanted to, but I felt like I'm just staring at this woman. So I would just kind of look nonchalantly
and
to
you're
see
not
what was
allowed to
going
take
on.
pictures or
yes,
anything.
She got yelled at for it.
Mm-hmm. And I think it overwhelmingly smelled like weed too.
Well, there was a lot of weed there,
but it was like a very, very, very strong.
I don't remember it being that bad. Amsterdam
had pretty flowers.
We didn't really see them though.
We saw them someplace because that's what I remember.
I don't I don't remember seeing them. We have different experiences, obviously, when we travel.
You guys took in different things. Doesn't matter. I mean, I remember like in Germany, I think we went up to Holland.
I feel like Holland has lots of flowers.
Tulips.
See?
I have tulips, and then you get to see a lot of windmills.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that was kind of fun. And that was like a day trip too. Bavaria was nice, but we only went there for the castles, right? So I went to see Neuschwanstein.
Oh, okay.
Is that the Disney?
That's what the Disney castle supposedly is modeled after.
Based,
It's not exactly. But there's 3 castles in that area, and they were, I guess, being built by the same family, and they were not finished because I think the guy died before he could finish the other castles. And when you visit, people still live in the castle, so you only get to see a part of it.
What else?
Death Valley was cool.
Yeah.
We went there too.
I
Tara
didn't go. I didn't go.
Oh, you weren't there.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I wasn't there.
It was hot.
It was hot. Death Valley lived up to its name.
Yes, it did.
I think that was cool though. Vegas is cool.
Vegas lived up to what I thought it was.
Yes.
But I've been, I think, 5 or
wears-
6 times now.
Unless you're like a gambler.
Yeah, which we're not. But the shows were cool.
The shows, to me, that's the best part of Vegas.
We went skiing. We went to the Grand Canyon. We went to the Death Valley.
Went to the whorehouse.
I didn't go to that
No,
one.
you did not.
Oh, that's right. You didn't go to the whorehouse.
Yeah. Although now, going back when we just went to California.
It's a little tamer.
It is different. Yeah. It's like, first of all, did I say Target on every corner or a CVS or something
We
on
got
every
there.
corner?
It was like 1:00 in the morning by the time we were traipsing around. And I was surprised as many things were not open.
Yeah.
I just thought Vegas was 24/7. Everything was 24/7.
But it's not.
It is not.
We went to try and go get something to eat, and the only thing that was open was McDonald's.
Yeah.
Really?
But it's different than when the last time you and I went.
Yeah.
It has changed.
Yeah.
Where else? Where else did we go?
We've been to New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. What did you think? I think it was hot as fuck.
Oh, God.
I thought I was going to die.
We're from Florida, and we got some fucking humidity in Florida. And I'm not a sweater. Normally, I'm not one
Because you were acclimated. Yes.
easily sweat. In New Orleans, I would walk out of the hotel, walk down to the stairs, and I had a film on me. The humidity there, we went in June.
It was hot
And
as balls.
I have clients out there. He's like, "What? Why are you coming here in June?" He goes, "You do not. That's not the time to come to New Orleans." Yeah. It was what I thought. Bourbon Street was disgusting. It smelled like piss, and people were.
But again, I liked the tour that we went on where they told us. Was it a ghost tour?
Yeah, I think
where
so.
they told
talked
us
about
some
the haunted
stories.
buildings
Yeah,
and
I thought,
stuff
and I like that. And it's the history there. Again, I like the history.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that city has a lot of
Took us
history.
through the Katrina, all that stuff. We got to see that.
And the cemeteries and.
It wasn't the cemetery.
The Mama Voodoo cemetery, but it was a cemetery. Yeah.
Because it was closed. Well, now you can only like go on special.
You had to see
tours.
that one.
You had to
You had to like book a time to go there.
Yeah, because
wherever that lady is.
because
I
of
can't remember her name.
vandalism, they've had to like
Yeah.
limit access to those things, which is like, come on, people. Mm-hmm. How about Niagara Falls? We've been there.
I didn't go there.
Tara didn't go there.
because you guys. We went to New York, and then you guys went on to Niagara Falls.
Oh,
I
sorry.
had to go back.
Yeah, we went to and went
I
to
liked it.
Toronto. I like Toronto a lot too.
But we went on the New York side. Did we go to the Canada side?
The Canadian side is you went to Buffalo, right?
Yeah, we went to Buffalo.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the Canadian side.
We crossed up. We went to Toronto.
Did you?
I don't know. But yeah, it was nice.
It was nice.
I remember going out
You on a little boat?
Yeah, we went on the little boat. We did the thing.
and you're under the waterfall. You stand
Yeah.
on the deck or whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll get to go one day.
Maybe one day.
Shut up.
Right? Freaking whore.
We went to 2 things.
Without you.
Doesn't matter. That's too many.
But then the cruise, we did a Disney cruise.
We did.
And what countries did we see? We saw Castaway Key, Jamaica.
So
Castaway Key was in the Bahamas.
is in the Bahamas? Yes.
Which-
Castaway Key is not a country.
But that was nice.
That was because it was Disney.
But
Yeah.
We had food that we ate, and then you could get snacks, and they had chairs.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And the water was really pretty. Jamaica, they tell you not to go anywhere, but what we did see, we went to the
Yes.
beach.
Yeah, and then we went to a resort, which was very nice, and they gave us some sort of it was jerk chicken, which was pretty yummy. It was spicy. I liked it. I wouldn't go.
So the cruise itself, 10 out of 10.
Except for at some point, I felt like the food just all tasted the same to me.
Oh, well, maybe, because I mean,
Well,
it's all.
I had steak every night, so
Yeah.
I'll taste the same thing.
Yeah.
And my vanilla ice
But
cream.
like all the
I
food,
enjoy-
no matter what I ate, it had a tinge of the same feel to me. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But like the second day, everything had the same.
I could see that, but if you have kids, Disney cruise 100% all the way. Just because of all of the activities they have for kids. You could drop them off at the club, and then you could still have some me time, and it's still a family thing.
Even if you didn't have, because they had a section that was for the adults, but I like the fact that everything was clean. They were on top of things. Like you would go to the area where you could get ice cream and drinks, and there was, we were sitting somewhere, and I was watching. There was a person just standing, a Disney person just standing there,
waiting.
The minute somebody got up, cleaned up the table, went back, stood. It was like that was their whole thing, is to make sure the minute somebody left, if they left something, they cleaned it up. So very rarely did you see a mess.
No, that's what I mean. If you can afford it,
Yeah.
and if you like are shy because you have kids and you don't think you can Disney cruise all the way, I think. And even like I said to you, even if you're not, because we went on a Halloween one,
Yes.
and it was fun. And
Yeah.
then you had the dress
Trick-or-treated,
up night.
yeah.
We did trick or treating. You did.
Pirate
There's just
night,
all these
pirate,
activities.
yeah.
We got to. They have movie theaters. It's the whole thing, and I thought it was fantastic. And like I said, even if having done this with work, not necessarily a person, if you can stay on Disney property, the experience is just up there.
All right, friends, that's what we got. Let us know what you think. Have the places that you visited lived up to what your expectations are?
And where would you recommend we go?
All right,
Off the beaten path, especially.
peace out, bitches.
Adios.
Bye.